You know, as a teenager, I got into whitewater rafting. Has anybody else been whitewater rafting? Is that not the coolest thing you'll ever do in your life? I love whitewater rafting. We used to go every summer, and we'd take a pretty big group, and we would camp out, and we'd go whitewater rafting. And then we always had some old people with us, and so we couldn't just go whitewater rafting for like 3 days. We'd go whitewater rafting one day, and then another afternoon we would do this other activity. That also, you know, it sounds really similar. You're floating down a river, and you're in this inflatable rubber thing, but it's called tubing. Okay? Now here's what I loved about rafting. It's totally intense. You know, everybody's got a paddle. A lot of times now you actually have to wear a helmet. And you're paddling like crazy, and you're shooting the rapids, and you're trying to get around that rock so you don't flip over, and you got to wear the helmet in case you fall out so your brains don't spill all over the river. It's pretty awesome. And it's just like this totally intense thing, and you're wide open, and you're wired, and your adrenaline's just flowing, and you get done, and you're kind of shaking because you had so much fun, and you want to go do it again. And tubing, on the other hand. Tubing is where they give you this nice black inner tube that used to go in a tractor tire. And you air it up, and you sit down on this lazy, smooth river, this section of river that, you know, my month-old baby could float down and never get in trouble. You know, it's just this smooth thing. It's got this steady flow, and it's relaxing, and it's easy, and all you do is sit there on your backside in the tube, and really the only danger of getting hurt in tubing is if you get a sunburn because you didn't put enough sunblock on. Or maybe you roll over too fast, and that area of the tube that was getting shined on by the sun is hot, so you burn yourself a little bit. You know? Now, if you're a tubing lover, I apologize. And it is fun. It's just relaxing. It's a different kind of fun. But there are people who go through life rafting, and there are people who go through life tubing. And the Christian life was never designed to be lived as a tuber. Let me see what my notes say about this, because it's probably a lot more elaborate. There are two distinct ways to travel the river of your life as a follower of Jesus. There's the rafting way, which is proactive. You know, when you're in a raft, you're being proactive. You're looking ahead. You're saying, okay, we need to get through those two rocks, or else we're going to hit that one, and then we're going to all be picked up by the whatever, down the way. They're just going to pick up our bodies, and then we're going to be on the news, and it's going to be bad news. So you're being proactive to paddle as hard as you can on this side, and then go backwards on this side, and you're turning that raft, and you're trying to shoot through the hole, and you're being proactive, and you're looking ahead, and you're saying, we want to be there, so here's what we have to do now to get there. And yet so many of us walk through our lives reactively, like we're tubing. That's the second fill in there. We go through life reactively, like we're tubing. And basically, the hard thing about tubing is you're laying on your back, and if you're anything like me, most of the time you have your head laid back so that the very tip top of your head can get in the water because it's been sunburned for 3 days, because you don't have any hair up there. I'm projecting, so bear with me. And so what happens is when you do run into something, not that you're going fast enough to hurt yourself, when you do run into something, you don't even know it's coming. You know, or you get caught back in this little slow section because you weren't watching. And what happens is you get caught back there, and then you have to react, and you have to move your arms, which is like so painful after you've just been sitting there all day. And you have to paddle your way back out into the current so that you can start flowing again. And then it happens again, and then you get caught on a tree stump, and then you have to react. And that's the way most of us go through our lives. We settle because we say, this is just the way we are. And then the only way we ever change is when we have to react because we slammed into a tree branch. I want to challenge you today to be a rafter, to be proactive, to believe in something better for your life, and to do whatever it is in your power that you can do to make it different. And I'm going to give you a strategy to do that today.